So here we are watching the scariest movie in the world. That's how bacon's made.
No.
God.
Those are gas chambers.
No.
Standard practice.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Man.
I know, it's disturbing. Do you know why they're grinding up those chicks?
God.
They're making chicken nuggets. Or
It's
processed. I don't know. That's my guess, but
it's because they were born male, and on their first day of life, they are disposed of because they won't lay eggs. And if you go out for hot wings at Buffalo Wild Wings and you order,
it's just
an
making
order
their
of
heads
12
off.
wings, that's
Gross.
6 chickens. This is actually how they slaughter chickens on smaller farms. I don't know if it's any better, but people are normally saying local, smaller farms.
Dude.
And see how he's trying to escape.
Yeah.
God, man. Oh, man. Can't
The
do
baby male calves are slaughtered because in the dairy industry because they won't produce milk. So they're sent off for veal.
it. Shit.
Which milk is already toxic
What the
for humans.
It is, yeah.
People always ask me like, "Oh, you don't eat cheese?" Why? Like they look at me like I'm weird.
Yeah, all the hormones and antibiotics, it's
God.
there's a bunch of pus in it. It's pretty gross. You think fish can suffer?
Of course.
They're suffocating. Those are tuna. That's how we get tuna. And obviously there are mercury sponges too, with
Yeah.
waste, pollution. So I want to know, what are your thoughts after watching that?
It's disgusting. It's sad. It's heartbreaking. It's savage. It's everything against humanity.
What about you, Mark? How do you feel?
Yeah, it's very disturbing. I mean, I feel like disturbed, and it's sad just to see the heartlessness of some of the guys laughing while they're at work. I think is just representative of like our whole system that we were talking about before we started this conversation about how all the systems are based and predicated upon hatred and the ideals of a certain few that do not speak for the representative all, and most of those principles are not in alignment with nature. Mm-hmm. And so we're literally disrespecting nature, Mother Nature, and that's, I mean, I don't have words for that.
Mm-hmm. Do you think consumers should think about a little bit more like where their food comes from? Because I know I never thought about it,
Right.
ever. Like I just was very successfully marketed to before I started researching it. But do you guys believe that the consumers have a right to know about how their food is made?
Yes, I just feel like they'd rather be oblivious and live in bliss rather than know the truth.
Do you think everybody feels that way?
No, there's always an exception to the rule, but I feel like a large population of people would rather not know and allow that ignorance to be bliss and feel like that they can eat whatever they want and just not know.
What about you, Mark? How do you feel about that?
Yeah, it's shocking how much ignorance is bliss is predominant in our society, and I don't think it's cool to be ignorant.
No.
Some people are happy to be ignorant. As part of some of my work, I deliver at Jimmy John's, which is like distributing all of this horrendousness. I look at these pseudo meats that I'm slanging, and it's like, it's disgusting to even like have to interact with it and then watch people eat it. And then anyways, in my journeys as a delivery guy, I posted up at the hospital today and just watching a healthcare worker eating chicken nuggets from Wendy's, like in their car on their like 20 or 30-minute break. So I feel like the way that we treat our medical professionals is like how the way we treat our animals that we eat. And that's just like, this system just consumes humans, it consumes animals, and our society is based on consumerism, and that is not sustainable, that is not natural. And I do have hope though. I do feel optimistic. You know, I really appreciate and respect you for like being a light shining in all this darkness. And Javi, I feel like us here, I know we know other people here who are making a difference by having these conversations, things like saying, hey, I'm not here to tell you one way or another, but just like consider the truth with a capital T, and you made the choice, you know?
Absolutely.
I like that.
Yeah.
But tried any plant-based options?
I'm mostly plant-based.
Okay.
I'm not 100%, but I am mostly plant-based. The only exception is still the fish.
Nice.
And that is good that you've cut back tremendously. Do you think fish deserve to live a life without human
I
emotion?
believe everything does. I just haven't found a way to sustain the needs of my body without the fish, and I've tried, but there are just certain aspects of nutrition that I have not been able to overcome without the complement of fish. So fish is the only thing that I have not yet cut, but everything else I've cut.
That's awesome. What do you think you're getting from fish that you can't get from plant sources?
There's certain B vitamins in there. There's certain amounts of protein in there. There is what else is a nutritional thing? Most of the B vitamin, the protein.
Do you take a B vitamin supplement? Because most people, whether they're vegan or not, most people are not vegan, but the people that are, a lot of them are deficient in B vitamins. But B vitamins aren't found in animals themselves. Animals are supplemented with B vitamins.
Right, by what they eat, yes.
Yeah, exactly. They're given a supplement and we're eating the secondhand supplements. Because I'm sure you know that B vitamins, like the B12 is just a bacteria that's found in the ground. And so like when grass-fed cows graze on the grass, they get those B vitamins, but it's, everything is so sanitized these days that a lot of the times they're not even getting it from that, which is why they're still injected with B12.
Right.
And so we're actually getting the secondhand B12.
I don't do cheese, I don't do any dairy.
Awesome.
Admittedly, I do eat Wagyu beef specifically and only. And I typically these days just make a pot of soup, and it has carrots, celery, onions, lots of beans, because that's where I prefer to get most of my protein.
Good.
And then Wagyu, I think like Javi, you were saying, you kind of, to my understanding, and I'm totally open to learning about, like, they say that Wagyu has like higher profiles of good fatty acids and stuff like that. But certainly the way that the Wagyu is treated is not like, to my understanding, like what we just witnessed. They are treated with care, or at least to some degree. They're a little bit more cared for. I can't validate all that, but like the main point is like I do sense a better quality versus,
Sure. So, do you think it matters to the cow if their throat is cut at the end of the day, though? Like, have you ever thought about it? Like, and I know, like, and like how we were saying, we are so conditioned to like just not think about it because it's so normal. It's so normal to eat animal products.
Yeah.
But have you ever really thought about it from the cow's point of view? Like, these cows, they may be treated, they may be sang a lullaby to sleep and given massages and all that stuff.
Yeah.
But do you think, like, first of all, most cows, they have a lifespan of like 18 to 24 years. And no matter where you get them, you're not eating some old cow, you're eating an animal that is prematurely killed unwillingly. Do you think the cow, if it's living such a great life, like, do you think the cow like wants to lose its life? Do you think that just because a lion kills a gazelle, it makes it okay when we live in modern day society to pay somebody to kill an animal when we can choose something else? Like, just because a lion does it make it okay that we do it? Because lions do a lot of things that we can't justify. Like, lions eat their own babies and rape each other, and in our human society, that's very much frowned upon.
Yeah.
Like, you can't go to court and murder your own children
That,
and
it's
say,
touche.
lions
That's
do
good.
it. You know, so, you know, as far as,
Yeah.
like the circle of life, like in our current modern day circumstances, do you think it would be a more compassionate choice to choose something else on the menu rather than, you know, paying somebody to kill an animal when they didn't want to, you know, as far as we know, they didn't want to die?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, if there are other options, then we need to explore them because.
Put more consideration into choosing plant-based options if they knew the truth? Like, do you think that people are, you know, the percentage of people that are quote-unquote animal lovers, do you think that if they were exposed to the truth, that they would consider going vegan?
Let me interject something really quickly. I think that, well, I know that, so if we can reach the population as children, as kids,
Yes.
before they become adults
Yes.
and already brainwashed and already going through a system, that we would be able to change a lot more. And I know, like in middle school, when we watched sex ed, we saw those terrible diseases and stuff that, you know, made us want to wear protection and such. And so if you can reach the kids before they become damaged as adults, there'd be a larger success rate.
Yeah, and don't you think that if kids were taught to respect animals, that we would respect each other a lot more?
Totally.
If we weren't oppressing these animals, then we probably wouldn't be oppressing each other. And there would be a lot less racism and sexism and
All the isms.
yeah, all the isms.
It
There
seems
would be a
like
lot
kids
less.
love animals. Like, I don't know what
do.
kid doesn't love animals, but then, you know, they're taught in school, well, you need this for your nutrition, you taught that you need this for your nutrition, and they don't even put two and two together because they're being brainwashed
Yeah.
to not even correlate the two.